Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to JAMSTAH TV. We're getting ready for our round 2 match, and then after that, of course, our big announcement about what is going to be happening next week. And it'll be so good to stop teasing you about it and actually just tell you the details because it's amazing. We're really excited about what's going to be happening in next week. Our next match for you in round 2 is another best of 1. It's going to be Thanks versus Katie. And we're about ready to go. Your casters again tonight are BobbyJ and Allg. Take it away, BobbyJ.
Thank you very much, Crisis. And we saw Serious Team pick up the first win of the night, Allg. And now we've got Thanks and KT. We haven't seen too much of these teams. We've seen bits and pieces, but this is one of the first times we're casting these teams. So I'm excited to see them. Are you excited, mate?
Absolutely, mate. I'm always excited for these new teams that I haven't seen before to see what they come up with. We're just sort of waiting for the draft to come in through now, so we shouldn't be too long. But we're looking at the teams here, and I mean, we've got some great names. I mean, that's all we got. We got Salt Lord and Control Alt Salt on the side of KT. So we're interesting to see if they will be pouring salt on the enemy team during this match, Bobby.
There's always salt to be had in any competitive game.
Hey guys,
yeah,
some intel on KT. They actually won the grand final of the Gameroos tournament last week, and they beat Sia at On LAN, which is a reasonably good team. So I would say that KT are probably the favorites.
Definitely. Especially if they beat Sia on LAN, because last week, Crisis, they were in the top 10 power rankings. Not this week, they slipped down. They haven't been playing as much, but that is a big win. At the time, they did beat a top 10 team. So
yeah, that's a huge scalp for them. I mean, beating CR LAN, they're no pushover, as you were saying, Bobby. They were in the top 10, so big. By the sounds of it, a really big challenge here for Thanks. But we haven't seen a lot of them either. So this game could be full of surprises.
Definitely, there's always surprises. You never count them out. Any team, especially when it's best of 1. Best of 3, usually see who is definitely the better team. Best of 1, sometimes crazy things happen, but we haven't seen too much from the Thanks, so it could be pulling a rabbit out of the hat, Allg.
Yeah, the best of 1 format is really, really good, especially for these early rounds. Especially on these maps, like the payload maps, pushing the point. A big ult or a big, Reinhardt ultimate or a big group of ultimates can basically decide the game on certain points of the map. So really, really tight gameplay. Everything sort of counts on how you play. So King's Row is going to be good.
I love me some King's Row as the teams get ready to select their characters. As we've got Thanks on the blue side, they're defending, and we've got KT on the red side on the offense. And take us through some of these selections. What do you make of the teams?
Well, as we can see already here on the side of on KT, we've already got the Reinhardt, the signature pick at the moment, being picked up quite often by the pro teams here. He's just such a good frontliner, and obviously we've got him on the side of Thanks as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these Reinhardts hold up in these really tight corners. And as we said last game, Bobby, on Dorado, you have a lot of these choke points where both teams' frontliners, usually the Reinhardts, are facing each other. And it all comes down to who can break the shield first. And you'll see a lot of teams, as soon as they break that shield, they'll go all in, and they'll try and get a pick really early. So a lot of the time it does come down to how well the Reinhardt players can manage their shield.
And we're on Dorado last game. And now we've got we didn't have a Symmetra then, but now we have a Symmetra now. A lot of top teams really highly rate the Symmetra. Do you approve of this Symmetra pick?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's a bit hit or miss here on King's Row, but if she can survive the first, minute or so and get her ultimate up and get the teleporter down in a really, really good position, you basically bought your team a good minute and a half of time. So it's a little bit risky, but if you play it well, you can get some serious rewards out of it.
Of course, Symmetra's been nerfed just recently, hasn't she? Her TP now only works 6 times or so, and then it's despawned.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, that's I thought I wasn't quite aware of that, to be honest. So
it's been implemented for a little while. As they start to break out the fight here amongst the statue, they're rallying behind their Reinhardt here on the red side. 3 Symmetra turrets in here on the left side of the on the defensive side, so they need to be careful of that as they walk through that little building. But most teams are pretty switched on about that. Allg.
Yeah, I mean, that's a death trap in that building there with all the symmetric types. You don't want to be walking there anytime soon. They don't actually have a Winston on the side of KT here, so it could be a bit tough to clear them. So it's going to be tough for him.
So Winston charges but misses. He's swinging around. He gets the Reinhardt. He hit the wall. But already got the soldier. He lost the mercy off his arm. He's fallen inside. He's fallen too. Just a far left up here on top as the red team looks to reset Allg.
Yeah, I mean, if you blinked, you would have missed that one. I think it was just a case of them getting picked out all over the map there and going down one by one. But to be fair, Plex is still alive on this far, and he actually has managed to pick on Farak, so he might be able to turn it around and cap this point.
Hit the Lucio speed up, and then Reinhardt charges all the way down the street, and he's looking for someone, but Davey says, no, I can do you one better. Throws him right back into the wall. As hit there goes Davey, hits the big Reinhardt ult, slams one down. The Lucio left, he's running away from the beams, and he's going to hide behind the wall and reset. Allg, Odie comes out from his Reaper here. As I didn't see them come out of the building, they were hiding there, so a bit of miscommunication maybe Allg as they're still swinging. The Reinhardt goes down and breaking it down on the red side. They're trying to get the checkpoint here as big fire cleans up two, and another big, Mercy Res coming in here. She picks up two here on the blue side as David picks up a Reinhardt, and a bit of chaos happening down here Allg as it's gone back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty close fight. The man of that fight, to control with Darby though, and that Reinhardt, you might not have seen it, but Control Spot managed to dive through under the archway and get right next to the Symmetra teleporter, and it was basically open for him to destroy it. And as soon as he saw it, Darby's just charged forward and picked him up and pushed them all the way back, allowing for the boys of Thanks to come back into the fight. So really good map awareness there by Darby to keep the teleporter safe there.
Definitely, as they're looking to reset just a bit here. Time ticking away, 2 minutes 15 left on the clock. They're going to have to pull the trigger here soon, Allg, as they're creeping up around the statue.
Yeah, well, they've got a Reaper now, so they're looking for that pick. I would like to see a Winston possibly coming in here, because they are quite squishy. They don't have a lot of big damage up front, so see what happens as the fight starts.
Yeah, and as you say that the Soldier 76 cell goes down, the defensive side have gone around to the other side of the building to get some coverage as the fire picks them up from behind, and they didn't see it coming, and they've fallen. There's only one person left to Junkrat. Oh no, sorry. I am blind. There's a Junkrat. Okay. I'm blind.
Yeah, what happened there was the teleporter once again was really key to keeping Thanks in that fight there. They lost a lot of people early, and it looked like KT was going to steal it, especially with a really good ult from Flex there. But the teleporter saved the day and got them all back on the point, and as we said, that Symmetra pick really important early on in this game.
Again, the Reinhardt shield coming in. They're looking to pull the trigger. 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock. Mercy doing really well to keep their damage carriers all buffed up as they're just looking to come in Allg. Nothing's happening just yet.
Yeah, they need an opening. Maybe try up above. They've tried a lot going through that building, and the Symmetra turrets have stopped them every single time. I feel like they really need to get someone to climb up this side wall here and come in behind them from the back arch, because at the moment the front door isn't being opened for anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure what they need to do. As I thought, they're breaking it down. Here we go. Big Reinhardt ult slams down. Big Mercy Res on top of that. Counters the Reinhardt ult. As they're swinging around near the statue. Zarya ult only catches one. Going down, Mercy Res picks up two. Beautiful work as the Reinhardt gets the back line. And we're looking to battle here on the checkpoint. The blue side need to get on the checkpoint, and they finally get one on there. It's the fire ult cleans them up. Beautiful work. He's trying to secure the checkpoint. This Lucio needs to jump on there. He's staying on there, mate. Oh, he falls out. Beautiful work.
That's so close.
Oh, it's still on. It's still on. Oh, so close.
Man, that was nuts. That last fight there. Just bot fires everywhere. I thought the Reaper maybe could have gotten point there, but maybe he was just not big enough to get there, but he gets to play the game anyway.
Beautiful work here on the defensive side. picking up a ton of frags as we go through the play of the game here.
Yeah, that Reaper really does, as I said, big work against the tanky target. So he got into the back line, got his ult off, did a huge bunch of damage to everyone and managed to wipe them. But, I mean, credit to Thanks there. They held on really, really well, and it was very, very close at a lot of stages. And at the end, the point was there to be taken, but KT just couldn't get over the line and grab it for him.
So, this makes things very interesting, Allg. Already a win on the defensive side. 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough ask. I mean, defensive hold there was really, really strong for him. So it is really in Weapon Fire's head now how they want to approach this. It's always harder to defend than it is to attack. So they know they have the upper hand. They know they can be really, really aggressive, and it's really up to KT to hold on and hold this push here for this next round.
And so look at 1-1, and we've got the old Salt Lord on a Mercy here, and we're going to go Symmetra Allg.
Yeah, the Symmetra was really, really important in that last game. She stayed alive for so long, and the teleporter got a lot of uses. I'm not sure if it actually came up twice. I definitely saw 6 times people coming out, so really, really good utilization there. And as I said previously in the game, just some really good peeling there as well. By Darby to keep that teleporter alive. So
I mean, maybe it's just in the pubs that is happening. It might be the public servers that have been configured like that to take away the strength of a Symmetra on defense against an uncoordinated team, which is what you're going to get in the pubs. Maybe in competitive, it's a setting. So let's see if somebody in Twitch chat can tell us whether there's a configuration that we can set to do that, or whether Symmetra by default has actually been nerfed across the board.
yeah, I mean, regardless, she's just such a strong pick because of that teleporter. I mean, it's good to have sentry turrets, and she's got a little bit of damage, but the teleporter is really why you pick her, because if you die here early on King's Road, it is such a long walk back, so you don't want to be doing that. But here we go, Bobby. Here comes the mirror. It's very exciting.
Definitely very exciting as the gates are unlocking. Now here we go, and KT are going to look here to hold on defense. They can deadlock this at 1-1 and go into sudden death, as we've got an interesting approach here. They're all on the right hand side.
Yeah, they're pushing up quite high. This is what I was saying before. They really want to come around the side and, you know, try and get a pick here and get on and cap this point and get this payload moving. And if they can do that, that's already half the battle won.
That looks like that's exactly what they're doing, heading around the sides right now, trying to get a bit of position on the upper courtyard. But Plex has just been hammering them all the way around, has a nice position himself on the courtyard up and behind. And every time, oh, a critical kill there. Plex taken down, that's the Mercy taken out. And now it is the opportunity for the boys from who's on the attack here? From Thanks to come through. So we've lost BobbyJ, ladies and gentlemen. You can see he's actually dropped out of the server as well. So something has happened to his net. I'll try and pick up the play-by-play for now. So forgive me if things go a little bit weird. Following right now, the Riptide is heading on up. Who's it going to get? Is it going to get? Oh, one takes Weapon Fire out of the sky. And it's, well, it's not really enough. They're going to cap this point anyway, Allg.
Yeah, Thanks finally pushing through there with a really good play coming up from the side and dropping down on them there. Really good play, getting the payload moving, and it's finally underway. It's going to be really tough for KT to hold on here, but it has been done by lesser teams. Yeah,
so you know, once the first point has been taken, we generally find that teams head on down the road past the bookshop and all of these little nooks and crannies with relative ease. But it's when they get into that hangar area that things really start to go wrong. Let's follow Weapon Fire. He's got his ulti ready and he's looking to get a flank on. This has been their preferred approach, getting their flanks around. He's spotted where the Mercy is, up on the platform, focusing on him now. Gets the Justice down, gets 2 critical kills takes down Salt Lord, takes down the Reinhardt as well, Allg, and that is a great move, putting Thanks in the driver's seat and getting the payload. Surely they'll get it quite easily now to this first checkpoint.
Yeah, that was really, really well played there by Weapon Fire, flying around the back and getting it all off and zoning all of KT into different corners of the map, and they've managed to push through and they have got this checkpoint, but this is the hardest part to push through, as you said earlier, Crisis, and it's going to come down to how well Thanks can push through and get in.
Well, they do have they've got 4 ultis, and in fact one of them's been popped. They're pushing real right forward, trying to get a spawn camp on, in fact, and doing it successfully. They've taken 2 players out as they've come out, and now the damage raining down from Weapon Fire, keeping them pushed back. Control Alt Salt, the Reinhardt, he's got to just back off up the stairs under the pounding that he's getting from above, and look how far forward they are pushed right now. Thanks holding on and taking control from the start, getting the payload. This is the last ditch of defense. A great ult coming through from Control Alt Salt, pushing them off of the point, but Mercy with a 3-man res keeps the attack on. The counter attack is going to be well, in fact, is going to secure the payload right as its wheel rolls onto just the edge of the point there. Allg, so a good last-ditch attempt coming through from KT.
Really, really good play there by KT, getting their support, saving the game there. First with the Mercy res by Soul Lord, and then Maton jumping on the point with under, I reckon, 2 meters left. Extremely close, but they've done really well there, KT. Maybe there is hope for them to hold on in this next 5 minutes.
Well, it's a tough ask. There's a lot of time in 5 minutes to get everybody's ultis charged up. Maybe the boys on Thanks can be forgiven for feeling a little bit, or playing a little bit aggressively. Yeah, they go. Where's the justice? It's called down. And 2 eliminations going the way of Weapon Fire. Still got a healer up. There you go. He's taking control. Old Sold out as well. That's the Reinhardt. Mason goes down. Who's the last man standing? It's just a Reaper. And now Ice spawning. They're going to rush through. Another ulti coming through from Farah, but it's too little too late, and a very convincing win, Allg, from Team Thanks.
Yeah, Team Thanks just destroying that. I wouldn't be surprised if Z just coming up here. No, it's Salt Lord. Probably some really, really good damage boosting coming in and some rezzing. Oh, this was a huge rescue, but the game was practically over. Just got them back in, and then Matt managed to get on the point. So fair play there to Salt Lord to keep the team in it, but unfortunately the pressure by Thanks was just too much in the end.
Yeah, I wonder if Thanks could have finished even faster if they'd held off with the spawn camp just a little bit. They popped a couple of ults, I think, to cap 2 players out. And kudos to KT in that situation. Instead of just having everybody rushing out madly and getting themselves murdered one by one, they held off and waited until they had a full spawn. They had the time to do it because the payload was still wandering around the corner, edging along, getting down the ramp. And by the time it got to the ramp, they had a full team. They had the Mercy ult ready, and they were good to go to get that final push. Unfortunately, too little too late, not good enough to keep them in the game, and Thanks will progress through to the next round. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the game of round number 2, and it is time...
Sorry, Crisis, sorry to interrupt. Sorry, we're
going to do the Plantronics MVP.
Yes.
So, who's your pick, Allg, for that Plantronics MVP?
It's a close one. I'm probably going to give it to Weapon Fire though for that Farah play. He did a lot of damage throughout both sides of offense and defense in that game. Mercy raised him up. Zeej as well as a special mention, just trying really, really ham at the end there. But Weapon Fire, for me, is my Plantronics MVP.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there. After they capped the first points and pushed forward, the flanking move that Weapon Fire managed to pull off where he popped his ult and took down the Mercy and the Reinhardt. Absolutely key on defense to have those two champions up, or heroes up anyway. So a great play, and as you say, throughout. So Weapon Fire, congratulations. You'll go into the draw for a Plantronics Rig 500 HD, and we'll be doing the draw sometime during next week. So the Plantronics MVP will be selected over the course of the 5 JAMSTAH, the JAMSTAH weeklies. So all of the MVPs will go into the hat, and we'll do the draw live on stream. We'll do a special show for it during next week. Maybe we'll do the draw next week during what's coming up next from GameStar TV. So just give me a moment to play the intro and close off the VOD, and then we'll be right back.